GM. So why are the markets dumping? Well, yesterday we had FOMC. We got the interest rate cut, which was already priced in, as mentioned. But Powell's speech, that was the big one. And what he said was that a December rate cut is not promised. And just a week ago, a December rate cut was priced in at 91.1% probability. Now it's just 68.8%. Therefore, the markets are now trying to reprice to reflect that. I do still think we get a December cut, but that's shaken up the markets for now. Let's take a look at them. So, in reaction to FOMC, got the FOMC candle over here where the interest rate cut decision was dropped and Powell started talking. Bitcoin couldn't get above it, back tested it as resistance. Price and levels are everything, guys. Who cares about the news when you can just trade the charts? And Bitcoin simply continued its low time frame downtrend that I've been mentioning. Bitcoin actually retested its September FOMC level. So if you go to the 4-hour chart, if you remember, September FOMC was over here. It's funny that this exact level has been resistance, so interest rate cuts have been bearish so far. It's exactly as I said in the weekly outlook video in the segment where I went through our rate cuts bullish and I showed you September FOMC level. We're not above it, so reaction has been bearish so far. Guys, find this content valuable, smash a subscribe, smash a like, smash a comment, help me out. And as always, drop me a Telegram message if you have any questions or need any help or guidance. Happy to help you guys. So, September FOMC level, that has found resistance on Bitcoin. That led to the downtrend, and the October FOMC really was just continuation of that downtrend. And you can see Bitcoin continuing to sell off now, whereas gold, on the other hand, holding up sideways since FOMC, but still down. Nasdaq down since FOMC. Dollar up. So that's the big shift. It was a risk-off move, mainly catalyzed by those statements from Powell, but the markets head where the markets were going to go anyway. So zooming out, this is something I've mentioned for some time now, is watch for the dollar to backtest the lower end of its range. So you look at, let's go to the weekly charts here. You can see this range right here that the dollar is backtesting. Let's zoom this in. This has been your macro distribution on the dollar for years. This was during the Biden era. Dollar ramped up. We saw the 2022 bear market went sideways. And as soon as Trump got in, dollar has been down, but it's been basing out. It's been a lot of dollar fear, a lot of moves away from the dollar. So, it's no surprise to see this recovery bounce. And it's came from the September FOMC, guys. So, very simple. September FOMC, how did markets react? Well, Bitcoin, bearish, as you know, retested it as resistance. Gold, still above it. Dollar, Pico bottom, led to the reversal. And Nasdaq still above it. So it's this continued theme of crypto weak, whereas other macro assets strong. And you want to know the reason why, guys? It's simple. Bitcoin is in a consolidating market. Bitcoin has been sideways, whereas stocks, gold, what have they been doing? They've been trending up, guys. That's it. That's literally as far as you need to go with why is crypto underperforming, because it's not trending, whereas these assets are trending, and this needs to break out to new highs for that to change. Otherwise, you're looking to see which side of this consolidation breaks. Now, zooming in further into crypto, well, these charts, high time frame SR level I've been mentioning, Bitcoin is now losing that level, which is not what you want to see. As I said, above it, you get rallies, and we got that. But now we're potentially losing it. And if you see multiple closes below this candle, that can be a trend shift and potentially lead to this distribution example. Maybe that is the last point of supply that's in there now. Range low at 107.2k is going to be all important, as you guys know, to decide whether we can reaccumulate like this example on the right, or we do break down. But losing the high time frame SR is not good. It's neutral at best, if not bearish, if we lose that 107.2k range low level. So it's similar story, of course, on ETH. Lost it. Total 3 lost it, and others have been way below it. So outside the top 10, extremely weak. But that is how Bitcoin is shaping up. You got to just treat it for what it is, guys. Neutral at best, if not bearish, if we lose this range low at 107.2k. So Bitcoin took the weekend liquidity. As I mentioned yesterday, weekend liquidity is a very easy target because that's an illiquid piece of price action. Therefore, easy for the order books to push it into there. But since then, there was no good reaction. We now have closed below the high time frame SR on the 4-hour. That was yet another trigger. Guys, these levels have been playing out amazingly. Look at this. 116k. Told you guys, look for reversals there or for it to flip. Got the reversal. We then lost the Q4 open right over here. So I'll actually get an arrow here. Closed below the Q4 open. Led to continuation lower. We then closed below the 112k pivot. Led to continuation lower. Even back tested it. And now once again, lost the high time frame SR, led to continuation lower. I've been telling you, it's level by level in this market. I don't see anyone else out on YouTube giving the real traders analysis. I see a bunch of people coping on YouTube saying, just hold on, the liquidations are here. But how about just play it level by level? 116k was resistance, lost the Q4 open, led to a downtrend. Until we start to show signs of price not just going down only. You know, you can use something like the EMA bands. When do these flip green? Then I can say, oh, okay, maybe price isn't going down only. Maybe I should look for longs. But until then, while it's red, we're in a downtrend. Very simple. And we've got to reclaim some of these levels now that we've been losing. Range low is a must hold. You don't want to see daily closes below there because that then toys with the idea of us potentially breaking down from this overall range. And that then is potentially distribution confirmed. So at a very key crossroad here for Bitcoin. This is the last place it needs to find support and quickly reclaim. But looks like sellers are in control. Now we just need to see if those sellers get exhausted at the range low or if they actually break through on this attempt. Previously, they've been exhausted over here. They've been exhausted even over here. Got reclaimed. Now we need to see, can we reclaim? If so, maybe we build through the range again, or do we lose the range low? Then any bounce you're really looking at lower if you see it consolidating and spending time building value at the lows, because cause and effect, building energy at the lows typically leads to redistribution lower. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Now trades wise, what have we got? Well, as traders, we don't need a bull market. We don't need a bear market. It doesn't matter. We make money based on volatility. That's why learning how to trade is so important, guys, as opposed to just holding, especially in today's world where dollars are endlessly debased. You can't afford not to actively manage your wealth, even if you have high time frame systems where you make 1, 2, 3 decisions a year. You still need that trading system approach, in my opinion. So Bitcoin, 50-week EMA has been the bull market support, guys. If we come into this level, I'd be looking for a low time frame scalp around this, even if it's just for a move back up to, let's say, 114. That's an area where you guys know I'd be looking on lower time frames, 1 hour, 4-hour chart to try get along. Let's say we lose it and reclaim it on the 1 hour, then that's my trigger to get in for a small rally, not playing to new highs, but at least some sort of bounce. I think it can produce a reaction since it has previously. But right now, look to the daily. Let's look at our daily 50 EMA. We are below it. Nothing good really happens below it. Once you reclaim it, you get some bullish action. Below it, leads to downtrend. Reclaim it, bullish action. Below it, downtrend. So simply we're back testing it as resistance. We had a fake out above. This is now a trap. Everything, again, where was this, guys? It is exactly at that September FOMC level, 116K. That was your trap. That's your resistance. That's been resistance since that September FOMC. So yeah, 50-day EMA, we're below it. Nothing good happens there. You need to be above it for these big rallies. As you can see, the big downtrends happen below it. The big uptrends happen above it. Markets can be that simple. That's how easily you can frame your bias and not get caught up in all the emotions, all the news, all the stories, just by looking at these bands. So that's the 50-day EMA. That's the 50-week EMA, which provides some opportunity for some trades. Now, looking at this chart, so this is a volume profile of the range that I shared in yesterday's video. So rejected above it, led to the flush, led to this downtrend. If we are going to reverse here, you just now want to see the opposite. Now you just want to see some green arrows form. And price to literally do this in reverse. Let's flip this. Now this is what you'd want to see. Price start to actually find its way back inside the range. If so, you'd look at the reclaim, you'd be like, oh, nice, can get in, maybe even on the retest of that value area low. And that can lead to a move back to the mid-range at 112 or even the value area high back at 116. But the key is you got to start reclaiming it to get that. Right now we're below it, and while you're below it, you're at risk of a potential markdown. Something like you see over here, when you blow it and you can't reclaim it and you back test it as resistance, that leads to continuation lower. When you reclaim it, can lead to rallies multiple times. This one, a nice extended rally on the reclaim. Key is no rallies happen without a reclaim. So right now, bias is to do nothing. Just let the market play out. This is why, as I've been mentioning, I have been in cash 100% on my long-term portfolio on the Bitcoin stack I have since August the 11th at 121K. This was exactly where I sold. So if we go lower, I'm prepared for it. If opportunity wants to come, then sure, I'll be ready to buy Bitcoin lower because I believe Bitcoin is going to 500K, 1 million in a 10-year time horizon, 20-year time horizon. So who cares how it gets there? If we go lower, the more bullish I get for my long-term bags. But when we're strictly talking trading, have to be objective, have to set clear levels to reclaim. Otherwise, you just sit back, let it do nothing. That's why I'm in this very good position where my portfolio's risk off. I'm focusing on trading with 100% of my capital now. So if we go lower, more opportunity. If we go higher, then I just simply trade it on the long. And that keeps me very grounded in this scenario where we've got a probable distribution, as I've been saying, because of the sweeps. It's much like this over here where we swept 108K, Trump's inauguration, boom, everyone got bullish. First crypto president launched his meme coin. Oh, breakout buyers, pile in. And of course, smart money used that as exit liquidity to sell their bags, fill their sell orders, and that leads to the downtrend. So when you're getting that sweep in action, this time two sweeps, the bias is always towards distribution. But again, while we're in this box, it's consolidation. Maybe we go higher, who knows? You're going to see either a break below the box, if so, distribution confirmed, and likely a markdown to follow, or we break above the box and reaccumulation confirmed and markup to follow. That simple. And on the low time frames, it starts with reclaiming some levels like this volume profile of the consolidation since the liquidation day. So you guys all know this is trade of the week. The way I'd be expressing that personally is a daily close back above the value area low, 110.6K. That would trigger for me at least a move back to 115, maybe even 120. That'll be yet to be seen. No fixed take profit set, but if we can reclaim that, maybe in the coming days. It doesn't look like it's going to happen today, so this might happen next week. We just build around, price starts to look really bad, everyone gets bearish, and then eventually we just have this slow reclaim and another little rally. That can definitely happen and still be bearish. So I'm open to reclaiming that value area low on a daily close, and if so, I'll be looking for longs. That's the setup. And of course, value area high. If we reach there, I'd look for shorts, but if we can't reclaim it, then you just expect lower. And that's why I'm risk off in my spot bags that I've been updating you guys since August on. So that's how I'm preparing for the move. That's how I've set myself up. When we look at the stock market, what are we seeing? Well, got above the 1.2. Now you need to see, can this 1.2 fib level hold? That needs to hold to produce continuation higher from here. Otherwise, you're looking at further sell-offs into the orange path potentially, and maybe even the blue path that falls back into the range in the blue path. So that could maybe set a trap. For bulls, you really need the green path, ideally, if not orange path. When it comes to gold, gold continues to base out here after a downtrend. Told you guys this is a likely top, and well, it has topped since then. That was the beautiful double top pattern on the 4 hour. Sweeped it. Again, what is this, guys? It's a sweep. What does smart money do? They sell into everyone taking that breakout long. Exit liquidity. So now you just want to see, can this chart start to reclaim the box? If so, does it then reject or does it build through? Otherwise, you're looking at higher time frames. Where can this trend find support? Not at the daily bands, clearly. Losing them. Maybe at the weekly bands. Yet to be seen. That's held for years. Can we find support there? But that's the market. That's Bitcoin. Potentially going to go into distribution. Reaccumulation needs to hold this 107.2K level. Crypto market looking weak below the high time frame SR. Buyer should be neutral, if not bearish, losing that 107.2K level. And overall reaction in crypto isn't great when you look at stocks which are up, gold up, dollar risk off move now coming up. So again, you zoom into this and you're just marking out these levels. If rate cuts are leading to sell-offs, then that's what you got to expect. It did in September. October, the level to reclaim is 111.8K. FOMC, can we get above that and have a change of character and not actually have just bearish rate cuts? That will be yet to be seen on BTC. But that's the market. That's how rate cuts have shaped up. Bitcoin downtrending since then. Gold sideways. Stocks down. Dollar up. You need to see Bitcoin reverse this, get above the FOMC level. Ideally the September FOMC level too, if you want to see prices like 120K and bulls to get momentum. So that's the bias for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, smash your subscribe, like and comment. Let me know what you think of my videos. Let me know if you enjoy them. And message me on Telegram if you need any mentorship, guidance, or got any questions. Happy to help you guys. Love you all in the private group to join the trades.